Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's just Marco here once again, and I am here today to do another episode of Let's Make a Movie. And this is my update for the month of September. So I'm kind of going to go down the line with each project and tell you about the progress that I've made on every single one, as well as just talking about overall, this month, it turned out to be another dud in a certain way. Okay, last month or earlier this month, I can't remember at this point. It's been such a weird last part of the year. You know, we're eking into the third act of the year. And so this year feels so weird in terms of the pacing, because in the first couple of months, I filmed all this stuff with these people who, you know, mostly they were terrible, and they were terrible people, and I got terrible footage for the most part, and it was a big waste of time. And then in the middle of the year, I was just like, hey, I'm going to make a short film. And then I made a short film. I made it in, I think 5 days, 5 total shooting days, if you're not counting the little bit of additional shooting that I had to do with one of the actors because he was sick on the 5th day. So very, very short, but it's just been a weird year in terms of filming, in terms of all that kind of stuff. And I've really been trying to get back into focus and to finish things up and to, you know, expedite the process and, you know, just get a lot more shit done, because I figured out when I made County Fear, I figured out that when I want to get something done, I get it done, and it gets done pretty damn quickly. And still, there will be issues. There's always issues that you run into when you make a movie, and I will talk about those issues in extreme detail on the Patreon page. We have a Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies Patreon page, and it is going to be the place if you want to see amazing commentaries, extra reviews, bonus videos of all kinds, behind the scenes videos, bloopers, deleted scenes, all sorts of shit. And no matter which tier you join, you will get your name in the credits of at least one of my upcoming film projects. But as I was saying, I guess I should move on from the getting things done. But it's been tough because I had laryngitis a couple of weeks ago, and then that went away after a week. And as soon as I got rid of the laryngitis, I got really excited because I had a vacation planned for this fall, and I have a couple of filming shoots that I need to do. Need to do, as in I'm going to still try to do them. But then I hurt my leg pretty badly. I'm not going to say exactly how I did it. It was an accident, but I hit myself in the ankle and my leg so hard that I gave myself a severe bruise. And I've still been kind of getting over that. You know, I've had to really ease my way back into things, ease my way back into activity. And it's just been a bitch, you know. I got myself in the leg where there's no fat at all. You know, like one of the few places on my body where there's not like a layer of fat to kind of shield me is the place where I actually hurt myself. And so that's been a bitch. So that's pretty much what I've been doing all of September, is kind of recovering and getting over that, and also doing all the work that I can do at the same time. And so now I will describe my fall and winter plan. I plan on hyper focusing in on both of my feature film projects, and whichever one comes into focus is whichever one that comes into focus. I'm ready for either one. And that is another thing that I learned from doing County Fear, is that prep work, I think that from now on, before I make any movie at all, I'm going to be 100,000% prepared. And I think that I really kind of took that for granted, because when you do like a shoot, you want to be prepared as much as possible. But what ends up happening is that when you're on the shoot day, you find out that you're not actually fully prepared. And that's no matter what. That's the scary part, is that, like, shooting is very difficult, but it's also the most fun part of the filming process. And so you'll find that you actually, like, didn't get something, or you didn't do something right. Like, something is going to go wrong, and you have to figure out how to fix it. For the most part, it takes a lot of experience, I think, to have like a really easy, flawless filming process. So I think that this fall, winter, I'm going to do a lot of preparation. I'm going to try to get as prepared as I can for, these two films, which, they are pretty sizable projects in terms of just the amount of scenes that I have to do overall. But if you go to each project, which I will do in a few minutes, you will discover that it's not really a lot that I have to do. It's just a lot, kind of. It's kind of a lot of work, but when you make movies, it's like, why would you even complain? That's kind of the point, is that you shoot a lot of scenes. But I was actually planning on going to a convention in Texas this fall. I was really excited about it because I haven't gotten to have a vacation for a long time, and so I thought that it would be a really fun thing to do. And it was really cool too. And I'll tell you this, guys. Sorry, by the way, my throat's getting dry. I'm having a late night allergies. The person that I wanted to see at this convention, I actually wrote their name down on a vision board, and it took only like a week or two, and all of a sudden I got an email, and the email said that this person was going to be attending this convention. And this is a convention that I had no idea about. It's some random convention. I had no idea that this person was going to be there until I saw that email. And that email, it just popped up out of nowhere. And I had never gotten to emails from this ticket service. I hadn't purchased a ticket from these guys since 2019. So, 2022, sorry. Want to get my facts straight. 2022, and a couple years later, I randomly get an email that just so happens to have the person that I put down on the vision board who's going to be at the convention. Well, unfortunately, or fortunately, the person canceled because they have filming. And I do appreciate that they canceled a couple of months in advance. I do appreciate that. I think that was nice. They canceled like a couple of weeks ago. So, but it was still like, oh. And then there was another person at this convention that I thought maybe they'd be fun to see. And then they canceled too. And then I just so happened to see, because I had another person on my vision board. This other person on my vision board, I was supposed to meet them a couple of times last year. There were a couple opportunities that I did not take, and they were supposedly going to a convention in Florida. And then guess what happened? They canceled in Florida. So just everyone canceled on me this year. All the celebrities canceled on me. So I think that that's terrible. I think that was like, oh. So I'm not going to get like a good vacation this fall or winter. I'm just going to have to focus on working on the films. Which is still, I mean, it's a good thing because I need to get them done. And I've wanted to get them done. And so now I'm going to put all my energy into doing just that. I'm not going to say like, oh, well, you know, I'll wait until I have a shoot set up. Because that's what I have been doing for a long time. Is that I was like, okay, I'll sign someone on, and then I'll start getting prepared for that individual shoot. And instead, I'm going to get prepared now, and then I'm going to shoot, you know, bing, bang, boom. So let's go down the list. So Drimp is my number one project. That is my number one area of concern, of, you know, something that I want to finish most of all. And that movie's pretty much done for the most part. It has about a third, a little over a third that I still have to shoot. And it really centers around one specific character that I have to shoot with. And so that is pretty much all that I need to do. Other than that, I have to edit it. And that's it. It's already like, you know, I've worked on that since 2022. So that is pretty much done. That is almost done. And I really hope to get it done very, very soon. And then you have People Pleaser, which is my second feature film. That one is a little bit tricky because it takes place in the fall and winter. So if I don't shoot it this fall and winter, what am I going to have to do, guys? I'm going to have to wait until the next fall and winter. And that's sad, but it is what it is. Now, here's the good thing about People Pleaser. I wrote People Pleaser around my limitations. I wrote it knowing that I have a few locations that I can use, and I only added like a couple of like extra exterior or interior locations that I don't currently have access to, but I will try to get access to. So that movie's going to be really easy to shoot, but I haven't hardly shot anything for it. In fact, I'll tell you guys this. So last year in the winter, I did film 2 sequences with these couple of actors, and one of them keeps on emailing me. He's upset that the People Pleaser page has a budget listed on the page. And he's upset that it's showing that it's a $5,000 budget. Well, the thing is that my movies don't even have a budget. So it's just all out of pocket. So, you know, it's just a symbolic budget that I put there. And so he emailed me once like a month ago, and then I asked IMDb to remove it, and I guess they haven't. And so he's hounding me again. And so, like, I just thought that was funny. Like, he's like the movie Mafia, you know. He's gotta look at. I mean, he must. I wonder how many times a week does he check that IMDb page? I mean, it's pretty weird. But anyways, that project, as soon as I get the key players cast, which that is literally the only obstacle to the movie being made right now, the movie will be finished pretty damn quickly. There's not a lot, like, it's gonna be very, very easy. You know, one of the disastrous shoots that I had in the first part of the year with someone who was terrible. We shot like a lot of stuff. You know, we shot like a big chunk of the script, like 20 to 30 to 40 pages in a couple of days. Or 20 to 30 pages in like 3 days. So I'm going to be able to get that movie done very, very quickly as soon as I get the cast issue sorted out. Now, unfortunately, the one project that I have had to put off entirely is the Goosebumps fan series, which really pains me because I have found that the Goosebumps fan base is a fantastic group of people, and it doesn't seem like they're going to be very judgmental, and it doesn't seem like they're it seems like they're hungry for good Goosebumps. And I feel like genuinely like my series is going to give them that satisfaction. And I also think in general, like, Goosebumps fan base has been probably one of my favorite fan bases I've ever been a part of. Like, I've been a part of a lot of different fan bases. You know, I've been a part of the Twin Peaks fans, which they're a mixed bag for sure. Let's just say some of them are great, and then some of the other ones are like it's like you have the White Lodge and you have the Black Lodge for the Twin Peaks fans. You have the they literally split themselves off into the show. You have you have like this group of fans. They're really, really nice, and they're in the White Lodge. And then you have the Black Lodge. And you have like the weirdest, most awful people ever. and they fight each other, and they have battles. They have battles in the Twin Peaks fan universe. They're fighting over the last bag of David Lynch coffee. They're fighting over it on eBay. And then I will say the Teen Wolf fan base was horrible. The Hannibal fan base is horrible. The Psych fan base is actually really cool. I don't know about the Monk fan base. And it seems like the Dexter fan base is pretty cool as well. Except they seem to spoil a lot of stuff, at least the people on Twitter. But the Goosebumps fan base is such a nice group of people. And every time I post something Goosebumps related, it always seems like I get a good amount of support. And that's been something that I've noticed with Goosebumps fans over like all the other fan bases, is that Goosebumps fans actually come out to support people. Goosebumps fans actually like support other fans. Like, there's a whole channel called the Goosebumps Crew, and they're just a group of Goosebumps fans who, like, interview the actors and all those people, and they get a lot of good support. They're going to a convention next month, I think, or this month, and it's really, really cool. But unfortunately, I wrote the first couple episodes, and see, this is my fault. Because this story, Welcome to Deadhouse, it did not take place on the 4th of July. But I had to make it take place on the 4th of July for reasons that I cannot disclose. So I kind of doomed myself with doing that. And so, like, there's no way that I could have done that, like, after I got the laryngitis, after I hurt my leg. There was no way. There was no world where I would have been able to accomplish making those episodes this fall, which really sucks, because I was planning on treating it like a short movie calendar, to where I would film an episode or two, and then I would release it, and then I would repeat the process over and over and over again. And that way people could see my work, and people could see, oh, look, here's the newest Goosebumps episodes. It's a continuing series, like, you know, and it would be a really nice thing. But unfortunately, it's not July anymore, and I do not have the budget to make it look like it's July. which really sucks because I thought that while I was waiting to make Drimp and People Pleaser, or waiting to finish them, I guess you could say, I thought that it was going to be perfect that I would make Goosebumps. I thought that it was going to be a lot of fun, and so I'm really sad to have had to put that off, because I think it might be the best thing out of all the things that I've made and am making right now. And I think that that's because, I don't know, I just have a feeling. I have a feeling, and I really can't wait to get working on that, because I think it's going to be so amazing. And yeah. So other than that, other than getting prepared, which by preparations, I've had to do a lot of shot lists. That's what I've been watching the Better Call Saul commentaries of all the episodes of Better Call Saul. And they have a term called director's homework. And I think that that's a genius term. And so director's homework would be like creating shot lists, and also doing a couple of script rewrites, and a lot of other things, a lot of other boring, non-filming tasks. And so that's what I've been doing. In terms of County Fear, as you guys know, if you are not living under a rock, that short movie is coming out October 31st. I will also be releasing a black and white version of the same film. And I'm really excited about that, because a big influence when I wrote County Fear was The Twilight Zone. Especially the first episode, the very first one, called Where Is Everybody? That is like one of my favorite Twilight Zone episodes, so that was a big influence on writing this short movie. If you watch those back to back, I would say that that would be a really good double feature. And yeah, other than that, I've been trying to float the idea, like kind of just think about it on and off, of if I should make another short movie in between, like in the middle of making these other two movies. And I don't want to. I don't want to make a short movie. I don't want to make another short movie right now. I don't want to. I want to finish my movies. And these movies of mine, they are going to be really, really good. And I really can't wait for people to see them. I am going to kind of think about how I'm going to release them based on how County Fear does. Because it seems like, and this is a weird thing that I've noticed, but it seems like when I post things that are like film things, like trailers and such, it feels like these social media apps, they go out of their way to not let people see them and to kind of hide them. And I'm wondering if that has something to do with, like, maybe they want people to pay for them to, advertise. And, oh, look, you want to see this movie trailer? Well, you have to pay us so that we'll advertise it for you. Like, I don't know, though. I don't know, but it's really weird, like, I'll give you guys an example. When I posted the first official clip from County Fear on Instagram, it got like no views. And every time I post on my Instagram, I get like 10 to 20 views on my stories. And I got no views at all. And then a couple of hours later, I posted just a random post saying, like, I'm going to see a movie today or tomorrow or something. Like, I posted some random shit. And for some reason, I got like 10 views on that. And then the next day, I posted a poster, a character poster, which was just a picture. You know, I mean, it could have been a picture of anything. And that got the same amount of views. So it seems like, for some reason, when I'm posting these film videos, they are being suppressed. So that's been really frustrating. But other than that, September has just been another dud month. It's been another crummy, just do boring preparation work. And it's just been a bitch, but I'm getting through it. I can't wait to be done with all the preparations. I feel like Finch in American Pie 2. Like he puts on the robe and shit, and he's watering the plant, and he's filling himself up to the brim with sexual stuff, and then he finds out that, like, Stifler's mom is coming very soon, and he says, "Preparations must be doubled." Like, that's what I feel like. I feel like Finch, like, preparation must be doubled. And then I get to it, and it's like, God, this is boring. Like, today, I did a shot list for a scene where the characters are literally just waiting around. And I was like, God, this is so appropriate right now. Like, it was like a dark and gloomy, like, scene. And I was like, God, talk about art, like, recreating reality. So, yeah. And I am going to try to go on a trip this fall, like a mini trip to film. But I'm kind of concerned because I've heard about Illinois having a lot of bad government activities going on in there, let's just say. And so I'm kind of hesitant about going there, unfortunately, even though I really want to film something there. In particular, I want to film something at the Ferris Bueller's Day Off High School. I wrote a very short scene, and I think that it'll be a lot of fun. And I think that I was going to do it at the Breakfast Club High School, but that building is like a police, like, government building now. And so it feels like it would be much better off to just film at the Ferris Bueller High School, like, just say, fuck the Breakfast Club, I'll do it at the Ferris Bueller High School. So I might do that this fall. And so I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm really looking forward to you guys seeing County Fear, because it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's like a Twilight Zone episode. It's like a Goosebumps episode. It's got a Beetlejuice type of character, a big Beetlejuice type of character, who I play. And he's kind of like the Mad Hatter of the story, and the story is kind of like an Alice in Wonderland type of thing. And so it's a lot of fun. I really hope that you guys check it out, and it will be available on Patreon and Gumroad. So please like this video and comment, and please subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more honest reviews. Goodbye, everybody. See you soon.